Want to welcome you guys. Today we're gonna get into the cost of doing business lesson, and in this particular lesson, we're gonna look at fixed costs and a lot of cool things. So what I'm gonna do, let me share my screen so we can get right into this. Again, this is Mr. Let's go back. We don't want to do that. We want to share my screen. Bam. There it is. All right. So again, we're using a nifty career launch lesson to guide you. We are in lesson 11, the cost of doing business. Now, the cost of doing business is all about the numbers at the end of the day. You know, what is your contribution margin? What is your expenses? What is your cost of goods? All those things play an important role in your numbers. So let's take a look. Let's start off with the essential vocabularies. I think this is very important moving into this. So we're going to scroll in. Let's take a look. Again, this will be on my YouTube channel, so you can also subscribe, follow, like, and also get this information to help you out with your business moving forward. All right, so the cost of goods sold. So this is like, let's say I have a t-shirt business, which I do, and I need to purchase shirts, and I need to print on the shirts. So when you deal with the cost of goods, you're dealing with the one unit, and what does it cost to make that one unit? What materials do you need? What labor is involved to make that product? Okay, so that's just the cost of goods. So let's say I purchase t-shirts for 99 cents. Okay, now I have to print a design on the t-shirt. I charge $1 to print this design on the shirt. So now the cost of goods will be $2. Okay. Now I need someone to actually print the stuff, print the work on the shirt. So that's labor. So I need to factor that in. So I'm going to say, well, labor will be about, per shirt it takes, I say about 50 cents. So you're looking at $2.50 because it takes 1 second to print a shirt. No, about 1 second, about 30 seconds to print a shirt. Okay. So it cost me $2.50 to print that shirt. So COGS, remember, it's about what the raw cost is for that item. Okay. Cost of goods sold, the total expenses associated with each unit of sale, including the cost of materials, labor used to provide the service. So the cost of goods sold is the total expenses associated with that unit. Okay, so now we got to look at shipping. We got to look at packaging. Okay, so then you will add these other elements into that expense, and that will give you the total cost of goods sold. Okay, so I definitely have to ship it out. So I calculate shipping in that price to $2.50. I would then add maybe another dollar for shipping. So now I bring it $3.50. Okay, packaging, I will add 25 cents on packaging. So you're looking at $3.75 for packaging. Okay. Now the definition of one unit. Now remember, your business plan is dealing with one unit. Now I'm wearing my green shades because we're dealing with money. We're dealing with dinero. Okay. So the cost of one unit description is what customers actually purchases with the money. So now I know that it costs $3.75 for my t-shirt to be made, but now I need to make a profit. I need to sell this for a cost. So I'm going to sell this t-shirt for $20. Okay. So let's say I sell it for $20. Okay. That's what the client is going to pay. That's what the customer is going to pay for that one unit is $20. Okay. So you want to remember that going in. So the customer is going to pay $20. Let's put that here, $20. Okay. Subtract. You can keep that $20. Remember that. How much did I say? I hope you're following the numbers. We said $3.75. So we're going to minus the COGS, $3.75. Leaves me a profit of $16.25. Let's go take a look what that is called. And that is your profit. The business reward for providing goods and services to satisfy the customer's demand The business only makes a profit when the money comes in forms of sale is greater than the business expense. So I made a profit of how much? Let's take a look here. $16.25. Beautiful. I'm making money. I made my money back, $3 plus. I reinvest that money back into the business to buy more merchandise to get the product up and running. Beautiful, beautiful. So profit we understand. Okay. Let's take a look at fixed expense. Now, fixed expense is like, it's important. It's an expense that is affected by the number of items the business produces, such as insurance, monthly salary, advertising, insurance, depreciation, utilities, rent. These are fixed. Light bill, your phone bill. So maybe your business has a building. Maybe it doesn't have a building. It has a brick and mortar. Maybe it has a e-commerce. So these are fixed expense that's paid monthly. Every month you have to pay, just like your regular um, person that runs their home and family. You have monthly fixed expense. Business has the same thing. Okay. So you want to keep your expense low, okay, as possible so that you can make a profit, so that you don't have to be working hard for a building that costs $3,000 a month mortgage, to pay that bill. You don't want your light bills to be up too high. So these are the key things you want to consider keeping your fixed expense down. Okay. Expenses, anything a business has to spend money on to keep running, such as supply, rent, salaries, equipment, expenses. Okay. I know I need to get the lights running. I know I need internet service. I know I need t-shirts. Okay. I know I need a worker to print the shirts. Okay. Expenses. What expenses do you need to run your business effective, quick, and efficient? Very important. And in startup expense, you don't want to get it twisted, because sometimes we say, oh, startup expense is in fixed expense. No, your startup expense is one-time expenses needed to get your business up and running. The maximum expenses necessary to get the business off the ground. So if I wanted to start a t-shirt business today, I need to sit down. What do I need to start this business? I need a heat press machine. I need paper. I need a printer. I need to have a good computer. I need to have an e-commerce setup. So it's a one-time fee to get everything up and running. So I always tell my students, if you're going to do this, do not hold back on your fixed expenses. Put everything out that you need. Make sure you invest in quality stuff. You don't want to spend a couple thousand and realize, oh my gosh, it's not worth it. So put the money in, invest it in good sources that you can get a good return and it can last you a long time. Very important. And then variable expense. Variable expense is pretty cool because it's expenses that change based on the amount of goods or service a business sells, such as materials, labor, equipment, delivery charges, sales, and commission. So, for example, shipping is variable cost because I might ship a package, which is one t-shirt, which might go out in $3.50, or I might ship it priority, or it might be rushed. So the price varies. Okay. Maybe this month we didn't use that much electricity and heat pressing. Okay. Gas becomes a variable expense. So these are key things you want to consider. What are the variable expenses that you want to consider in your financials moving forward? So now we just went through these vocabularies, pretty cool. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and see the cost of doing business. So I want to scroll down. These are really good lessons. We went over fixed expense, we went over startup expense, and then this is the recap of variable expenses. Okay. And then you have some low activities where you do some matching game, office equipment, what you think that will be. Okay. And then you scroll across, sales commission, what would that be? Okay. So you will go through it, add this to rent. What would rent be? We just talked about rent. Rent would be what? Rent could be a fix. Okay. So you just go through it and you add, and then it gives some information where you can add your information in on the bottom. So this is great. This is great that we got this concept. And then you flow down, you have a case study, which you can look at. Okay. So I'm going to go right over here and bring it back here to you guys. A key word when you start working on your slide deck, contribution margin is just profit. The amount per unit that a that a product contributes towards the company's profitability before fixed expense are subtracted. Okay, so it's your profit. Fixed expense, we talked about that. Income statements, financial document that summarize the business income and expenses over a given time period. Now, for example, when you do your taxes, okay, you gotta, at the end of the day, you file your taxes. Same thing with business. How many sales you generate this month? You break down how much was your fixed expense this month. You do it for the whole year, okay? Also, income statement, your net profit. This is important. These are key terms that an investor will want to know. What is your net profit? Okay. What's your profit and loss, which is also known as a P&L statement, similar to the income statement. Variable expense, expense that change based on the amount of product, service, and business sales. We went over these earlier. Okay. Net profit, the amount of profit or loss the business earns after paying expenses and taxes. Okay. True story. When I started working in high school, I got a job at Burger King, worked all these hours, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get a big check. And when I saw my gross and I saw my net, what I took home, I was like, what happened here? There's a lot of taxes. So keep that in mind. Your net is what you accumulate after everything has been taken out. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this video with you guys and along with some other videos, but I think that could give you a pretty good head start. So I'm gonna share, let me share one more thing before we stop. I wanna share, let's take a look at, let's look at Money and Move. Let's look at their financial statement on their PowerPoint. Okay, let's scroll down right here. Now, when you work on your business model slide deck, one definition of unit will be your title, whatever you're selling here. Your selling price will be the total. Remember, we talked about the variable expenses, labor. She add that in here. That comes up to $100. You subtract 500 from the 100. That gives you a contribution margin of $400. Okay, so that's what she walks away with at the end of the day. $400 profit, contribution margin. Over here is a work section where you can actually describe your expenses. She does programming, fixed expense, her servers. All this is needed to get her business up and running. Okay, and here it is. You divide your what? Fixed expense by your contribution margin will give you your break-even unit. So you just have to sell one unit to break even. Okay, pretty good. So this slide deck, that section, the cost of doing business relates to this slide. Keep that in mind. Okay, and I'm going to do this in another lesson. We're going over the financials, a little more detail. Okay, so basically, let's say the financials works like this. Each month you sell a certain amount of units. You know, notice it fluctuates because business is not a straight line. You have ups and downs. She sold 275 units at $500. Remember, she said her what? Her selling price was 500. Okay, so if I go down here, okay, so 500. Let's do the math. Let's do. She cleared that. She says 275 times 500 equals. Here's her profit. See, she's on the money. She's in the money. So she makes a profit of $137,000 and 500. So when she subtracts now her, what she have to subtract, guys, is go here. This is what her $51 right here. Her monthly fixed expense, which is $51.25. So let's go here. Okay, she have to subtract $51. So we're going 51 times, let's do times 12 months, $650 minus the 125, whatever that number was. It's going to give you, this is, I got the wrong number. Let's go here. Let's go right here. Perfect. So she would subtract her fixed expense from that number, and that would give her this right here, which is when you subtract the taxes, and all that good stuff, you're left with this net profit. Okay, our initial investment was 25. This is a startup investment, and the return on investment will be $154, 100% markup. Okay, so as you can see, we're going to dive into this part a little later, this financial a little more in detail, but I think you have enough to get you the cost of doing business for this particular lesson. I'm going to stop the video and I'll be working on the next one soon. Make sure you guys hit the button, the like button. If you like videos like this, I can create more videos for you based on what you're trying to do. Again, thank you. And I'm going to stop this video.